1,000 speedsters merged to stop a cosmic god. The ending will shock you. The speedsters and their companions are trapped within a chaotic, terrifying void, a place of raw, apocalyptic energy. Bart Allen, standing tense and panicked in his black suit, shouts over the surrounding chaos, "We're all gonna die! Don't you understand that? The whole universe is doomed! Why the hell are you laughing?" Wally West, kneeling and gripping his knees, is consumed by loud, hysterical laughter, tears streaming from his eyes. He forces out a fragmented reply, I don't know. The manic hysteria suddenly collapses into a raw, choked sob. Wally looks utterly defeated. Maybe because I'm broken. I'm the flawed copy, right? Or, ha! As they drift through the swirling, high-speed turbulence, Wally continues his bitter self-reflection. Or because, for 1 second back there, I really thought I was the real one. The one true Flash. Not so grim, not so tainted, more human. And then, look, I made things a billion times worse, and, ha! Bart stares at his mentor, his face serious and grim. "If it's not worth laughing at," Bart says quietly, "you'd have to cry." Wally lets out a shaky, wet sniff. "Yeah," he agrees, utterly exhausted. "Lucky for us." A cold voice cuts through Wally's despair. Both can be true. Above them, the full, apocalyptic horror of the bad moon solidifies. It is a terrifying, hulking entity, its body burning red and gold, striped with primal black markings like a celestial tiger twisting against the shattered reality of the Speed Force. It is raw divinity, power made manifest. Meanwhile, far from the chaos, in a calm, domestic setting, a person types deliberately on a laptop, a wine glass close at hand. This observer speaks with chilling detachment, commenting on the spectacle. It's not every day a god of gods is born. The Justice League stands stunned in the headquarters, monitoring the cosmic crisis. Of all the terrors and tyrants out there, the unseen narrator begins, detailing the feed visible to Jackson Hyde, Black Canary, and Nightwing. It was the cackling, goblin-hatted Eclipso, nobody's idea of a top 10 villain who tapped a higher power and ascended to omnipotence. It was then, as the Flash's stabilizing time field dissolved like smoke, that the other Guardians of Earth finally saw the true, overwhelming extent of his struggle. Heroes like Superman and the Green Lantern Corps streaked across the dark void, rushing toward the chaos, but the distance was too vast. It was too late to help. Below the escalating fury of the newly born god, the Fiend's thugs belatedly realized they would not become kings of a nocturnal Earth as promised, but stewards of a solar cemetery. They attempted to overthrow their commissions, small figures engulfed by the fiery, terrible energy of the bad moon. In this, too, they were tardy. At this point, the newly formed god, the Bad Moon, began its first terrifying physical act, a stately relocation of the Earth's own moon. On Earth, the effects were slow at first, but devastating. The oceans swelled into monstrous waves, volcanoes quickened, and every global fault line was set aflutter. Inland, I doubt many people even felt them. I didn't. It's only because I have impeccable sources that I know how it truly happened. I know why it wasn't an instant extinction. I know why he took his time, blotting out the world. When you rise to the throne of evil, when you transcend the bounds of reality itself, there's really no second go-rounds. He wanted to savor it. Funny, isn't it? It's almost the exact opposite of what we know of the Flash. The black-suited speedster stares at Wally West, his expression defeated. There's no sense rushing if nothing can stop you. He dips his head sadly. "Well, I'm sorry." Wally, in his classic red suit, responds with palpable frustration, gesturing around at the disastrous reality they face. "I thought you were getting it wrong." Aldous grinned. "I thought, that's not the Flash. We're supposed to be like lightning. Unpredictable, dazzling. We don't stop and agonize. We just act. That's what I thought." He looks down at the black-suited speedster, his tone softening slightly. "Oh, right." "No," the black-suited speedster replies, looking up, his voice heavy with self-recrimination. "No, I was so consumed, taking it all on, pushing everyone away, that my own daughter terrified herself just to be seen." He turns to Ira, his daughter, standing nearby. I'm sorry, Ira. I think there isn't a right one of us, a one true Flash. I don't think there ever was. He straightens up, a new kind of acceptance in his eyes. There's just a regular Joe with a million flaws and the power to make a difference, trying not to mess it up, pretending to be the best version of himself without knowing what that is. From the crowd of worn-down speedsters, a voice rings out nervously. Say, guys, I don't know about you, but another chimes in, slightly more hopeful. I'd sure like. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, me too. The core versions of Wally West, the one in red and the one in black, look at each other, their desperation replaced by a shared sense of purpose, to be whole before the end. The external narrator, observing from afar, watches the critical moment of convergence. We'll never know what it's like, you and me, urging with yourself. For then how? I asked him about it once, earlier in the war, before things got grim. As the speedsters reach out to one another, two versions of Wally clasp hands, bathed in dazzling, restorative yellow energy. The narrator recounts Wally's description of the process. It's like therapy, like welcoming back every half-forgotten experience, every coulda, woulda, shoulda, like every decision you could have made differently, reaching out to grip your shoulder. Charlie. He put it a lot less flowerily than that, whoever he is under the mask. I get the impression the Flash isn't a therapy kind of guy, but that was the gist. Self-knowledge, he said. You gotta try and figure out who you really are, without pride or shame, and then you gotta try to be better. The narrator continues, describing the profound experience of the merged speedsters. He said the memories were the weirdest part, the experiences of 1,000 other selves, a kaleidoscope of impossible déjà vu. I'm guessing that's what he was feeling, up there on the eve of the end, saturated with despair when it happened. In the flood of absorbed realities, their collective consciousness registers fragmented emotions and scenes, a desperate plea for family time, and an older wisdom stating, it's not about the lightning, kid, never was. It's about the circle. Even the dog's anxious state flashes through the mental connection. Hurts, ow, ow. No pooping in days, ow, ow, no. Doesn't matter. Focus important. Wally, the red-suited Flash, connects the dots, his face filled with sudden horror. Wait, Foxy? You've seen him. He still? The black-suited Flash nods grimly. Still hasn't given up, yeah. Wally races ahead with his conclusion, desperate to establish the stakes. Stuck inside that thing, lost in a mix of love and loss. Eclipso's using his power to ascend, and the black-suited speedster cuts him off, his voice flat. No, that's not what I was gonna say. He points at the silhouetted, tortured figure in the distance. He still hasn't pooped. Bart, Ira, Nightwing, and Wally all stare in stunned, confused silence. Wally finally manages a bewildered, what? Wally, still reeling from the unexpected diagnosis of their cosmic foe, tries to protest. What's that got to do with anything? But the black-suited speedster cuts him off, a terrifying realization dawning in his eyes. Something hard, something stuck inside him. Damn. He grins, a focused, dangerous expression replacing his despair. I know how we can reach him. High above them, the massive celestial horror of the bad moon continues its stately relocation, firing blasts of red energy at the Earth's moon, preparing the final, decisive eclipse. The red-suited Wally West yells in sudden panic, Does anyone know what he's kids? Bart approaches his children, Jai and Ira. His voice is tight with shame and necessity, stripped bare of his usual bitterness. Jai, Ira, I know I messed up. I know I'm not the dad you need right now. I don't deserve to ask for anything more, but he looks at them, his eyes wide with desperate urgency, and whispers the painful truth. I need it. From both of you. From all of you. I need help. Bart looks at his children, the desperation receding as focus returns. Jai, you said there was enough residual speed force around Uncle Barry for you to, Ooh, Jai nods confidently. Reshape space around him. Sure. So? Ira grins mischievously, leaning closer. Egum. Bart then looks to the collected speedsters around them, including Wally. What about something he wore every time he ever used his powers? Wally's face falls as the truth clicks into place, a sudden, horrible realization dawning in his eyes. Oh snap, Eclipso ate the me who was wearing it. Bart confirms, his voice grim. Right, and Foxy was already in there. He must have found it, swallowed it. Wally finishes the thought with a shuddering, yeah. The terrifying celestial body looms above the group, the ring. The external narrator observes the tactical shift. I've interviewed the Flash more than anyone alive. Believe it or not, under all the crackle and crazy, he's a modest man. We know him best as that joyful blur, a lonely long shot, saving lives with a smile. But when you look close, he almost never works alone. It's a rare hero who knows when he's not the best man for the job. Bart prepares his children for the impossible task. Jai focuses, a vortex of red energy swirling in his hands. Okay, I found it, it's open. Bart pumps his fist, a grin splitting his face, his usual bravado returning, right into the big, bad butthead's belly. The assembled Flashes groan and shout in unison. Language! Language! Jai concentrates on his powers, defining the target point in space. This is some serious dimensional weirdness, guys. A spatial borehole. Straight to the ring. Inside Foxy's energy field. Inside the Black Diamond. Inside the Shadowlands. Without hesitation, Iray and Jai plunge headlong into the swirling temporal gateway. And they came, the Speedster said. They came like birds flocking home. The myriad versions of the Flash streaked toward the singular, blinding center of the Speed Force. Every part of him, the nobility, the love, the anger, the sadness, the virtues and flaws, ready to smash together and release their light. And waiting for them were Jai and Iray, waiting to shape the charge of their collision. Jai flies through the swirling energy, the golden Flash ring hovering ahead of him, surrounded by the bright shapes of Foxy and other lost speedsters. Bart shouts, beaming with pride, "You're incredible, son! Your own path, kid. Always, always, always." The combined power was waiting to magnify itself by sheer force of will. Wally turns to his daughter, Iray, who stands bathed in a blinding aura of Speed Force energy. "My girl," he breathes, his voice full of pride, "you have the biggest heart of anyone I know." The assembled speedsters ready themselves, faces set in determination. Let us hear its thunder. The collective force of 1,000 merged speedsters hit the nucleus, detonating in a blinding, instantaneous supernova of yellow and red Speed Force energy. The light washes over the entire solar system, momentarily eclipsing the moon and the earth, a shockwave of divinity itself. Jai holds his hands out, trying to stabilize the chaotic vortex just long enough to retrieve the necessary element. Iray shines brightly, bathed in pure golden power, truly representing the best parts of him, the purity of the Flash ideal now synthesized. Jai successfully holds the destructive power long enough for the target to be revealed. Amid the chaos, the dog Foxy, previously trapped within the diamond, flies free. Nightwing intercepts the delighted animal, gripping him tightly as he shouts over the power, "Got him!" In a flash of scarlet and black, Wally West scoops up Bart, carrying them both, pulled free from the immediate, catastrophic heart of the explosion. The mission successful. Wally West and Linda Park West sit across from each other in a dimly lit, intimate setting, clinking their wine glasses. Linda smiles, slightly teasing, "And that's how you saved the world." Wally grins warmly, shaking his head. "Nah, come on, that's how we saved the world, by having awesome kids and letting them be themselves." Linda takes a thoughtful sip of wine. "You think they're giving the babysitters any trouble?" Wally assures her, "Oh, 100%. Linda looks down at the laptop she has open on the table, her expression shifting to focus. "Listen, I gotta tidy up my notes. Wouldn't want anyone thinking you'd done anything all on your own." She looks up, pointing. "You got 30 seconds. Wally leans forward earnestly. "I love you, Linda Park West." Linda gives him a hurried, affectionate wave. Yeah. Go check that the universe is coping without you." Before she can finish, Wally is gone in a flash of motion. Wally West arrives home in a sudden burst of speed, pulling up short in the front hallway. He takes a moment, rubbing his jaw, a low, contemplative noise escaping him as he processes the lingering psychic fallout of the day. He finds Barry Allen and Iris West lounging on the living room couch, acting as babysitters. Iris looks up, amused. "Oh, hey, Wally, you're home early," Wally replies, his voice tired but affectionate. "Barry, Aunt Iris." Iris smiles. "They're fast asleep, dummy. Go back to your hot wife." Wally pauses at the nursery door, casting a silhouette on the floor. He steps away, confirming to himself, yep, fast asleep. He addresses his aunt and uncle. "Excuse me, interrupting. Enjoy your evening." But just as he's about to leave, he pauses. "Oh, actually, Barry? I almost forgot. Something for you." He reaches into his pocket, offering the flash ring back. Barry instinctively pushes it away. "I think you're better keeping this safe yourself." Iris leans in, sensing the weight of the moment. "Barry, what is it?" Barry, looking strained, avoids her gaze. It's nothing. Just a circle." Iris stares at her husband with deep sadness, acknowledging the true meaning of the circular legacy. Nothing ever ends. Outside a stately prison complex, the Flash teens, Jai, Ira, Avery, and Wallace are standing guard. Warden says the villains all just reappeared, one says, like nothing ever happened, except they're all real pissed. Kinda warms the heart, doesn't it? A male voice, possibly a security guard, calls out nervously, "Listen, are you too sure you're supposed to be out this late?" Irie, wearing a confident half cowl and a jacket, waves dismissively. "Como? It's just one patrol. If you guys don't want to train me up, I can totally find someone else. Maybe one of these evil bozos?" Jai beams, throwing a glowing red portal in the air. "And you don't have to worry about me. If I'm gonna become an elemental force of cosmic change, I gotta go on a few field trips, you know?" Back at the Allen house, Wally overhears Jai's plan, his expression dropping into disbelief. "We're just gonna poke around at the end of space-time, fix the moon's orbit, etc. I'll be back before I left," Wally demands, his voice rising in panic. "And you're sure your dad doesn't mind?" Jay and Ira chorus brightly. "Are you kidding? This was his idea." Wally stumbles back, utterly speechless. You little..." He takes a deep breath, his anger dissolving into a profound awe and acceptance. "Little miracles. Go." Wally rushes back to Linda, who looks up calmly. "All okay?" Wally confirms, radiating confidence. Yep. All exactly as it should be." Linda continues her questioning, leaning in conspiratorially. "Okay, so couple of follow-ups. What happened to Eclipso? He's basically unkillable, right?" Wally smiles, taking a sip of wine. Yeah, you don't have to worry about him." We cut to Eclipso, now trapped within the Black Diamond, which is slowly drifting through the deep, chaotic energy of the Speed Force. A gentleman in a top hat, the grim commander, wields a cane, gently guiding the diamond deeper into the cosmic void. He's gonna spend a little time reflecting on what he's done, out of the limelight. Linda's expression is soft, serious, and utterly genuine as she asks her next most critical question. "Okay, and then the big one, not for the article, just for me. What happened after the dust settled? The Rogue Shard and the Grim Commander, which one are you?" Wally West looks directly at her, his green eyes sparkling, his smile wide and sure. I'm me, sweetie. Both of them, all of them. I'm the sidekick who made it. Either Treely West." Linda smiles sadly. "The one and only Flash." "No," Wally insists, his eyes serious. "I've seen too much, sent too many of us to die. I'd be like a stain on the soul." He gestures to the black-suited speedster standing beside him, who is covered in bruises and battle scars. "You're the one, Fate. The spark, the one who didn't go dark." The black-suited speedster, Bart, shakes his head. "I'll ask Pilgrim to put me in stasis. No thoughts, no dreams. That would be nice. Break glass in case of interdimensional war or something like that, kid." And Wally, the Flash, cuts him off with a shout. He smiles at the alternate version of Bart. "Do you remember what Linda said? Her spirit? On the edge of forever?" He leans in gently. "No, you do. Bart, the grim speedster, looks down, tears welling in his eyes as a bright white outline of the true Flash, Wally, shines around him. His voice is a whisper, filled with the memory of his wife's love. In the loneliest place, in the place where you forgot to love yourself, they found you. Those missing parts of me, I found you. Linda, ever the journalist, looks down at her notes, composing the perfect closing line. Say, honey, don't you think this stuff is a little out there for your readers? Linda laughs softly at Wally's casual dismissal of universal catastrophe. Temporal dilation, gods disguised as dogs, the illusion of individuality, etc., etc. Are you really expecting them to get it? Wally holds up his Justice League emergency communicator, which is buzzing rapidly. Are you really gonna pretend that JL buzzer isn't going off? Wally's face is a mix of boyish plea and genuine desire. I just figured, date night. They can wait. Linda smiles warmly, tracing the outline of her jaw. I have my superpower, Wally. You have yours. She pauses, nodding to the door. Go. She leans in for a quick, passionate kiss before he leaves in a burst of motion. Linda looks down at her notes, contemplating her article's final sentence. Faster, further, stronger. Doesn't it get to him? Doesn't he feel overwhelmed? Know what he said? Rumming isn't the important part. He said, whatever this world tries to tell us, we've all got to stop now and then. Lie down, stare at the stars, give your brain and your heart and your feet a rest. I can't fault anyone for doing that. The important part, the incredible part, is that we all get back up again. She concludes her narration, smiling.